Adam. Through the one man, we're all made sinful. Adam, great guy. We all hate. If he was here, we'd probably kill him. That's not cool. The guy couldn't eat it. You couldn't stop from eating an apple? Like, what the heck, dude? They have that bad of food around back then. I mean, an apple? I won't eat an apple if you force me to eat an apple. I'm like, screw apples, you know? Like, I don't want an apple. And this guy, like, I mean, I don't know, was it a super attractive apple or what? But he eats the apple. So what? It sucks. That's the way it is. Because of the one man, now all of a sudden we're all like bad people. But the good news is that because of one man, anybody know who this other one man is?
Jesus.
Jesus. Through the one man, we can all be made righteous. Who did you say? Eve? Did you say Eve? Somebody said Eve. No, sorry. Not a bad option. It's a purely logical statement. If we are made sinful by one man, we can be made righteous by one man. All right? But the righteousness coming from the one righteous man has to be from the righteous man. It can't just be through anybody, right? An unrighteous person can't make himself righteous or declare anybody else righteous because he's unrighteous. He has to be righteous or possess righteousness on his own. Now, would anybody in here say that you're really not that bad or you're really not what you would consider to be like a sinner? Because like we all know like sinners. Like there's some sinners, you know, like guys like, you know, riding fiery skateboards down the hall in an old dog. I guess they're like bad people. But, so we know like the sinners. Would anybody here consider yourself like to not really be a sinner? Because, here's what I'm going to say, don't raise your hand. If you consider yourself to not be a sinner, I'm going to say that's an absurd argument. Here's why. I can follow you around for one day, point out everything that you do that contradicts God, His character, and His law, and say, there, you've broken His law, you're a sinner. Also, I would point out my 3.5-year-old nephew, who's the cutest little boy in the world. I love him to death. You guys would love him to death, too. He is so cute. He has his fat little cheeks, and, you know, I mean, just like everything he says is like cute. I hug him, and I kiss him, and I love him, and oh, you're my boy. His name's Tyler. You know, I love my little nephew. But if my nephew, Tyler, had the opportunity and the circumstances were just right, he would steal from you, he would lie to you, and he'd punch you in the face if he thought he could get away with it. He's the cutest little boy. But if he gets caught, he's like, oh, it wasn't me. Like, well, who was it? Oh, it was Auntie. Auntie, right? It wasn't him. It was like a 30-year-old adult, my wife, Auntie, who was like making him do it or something, you know? And then he runs and hides behind the door thinking that he's not going to be in trouble. He's not a good little boy for the most part. I mean, I love him to death, and you know, he's good a lot of times, but there's still like this bad, like sinful streak in him. Like, he's just not like a good person naturally. And he's 3.5. Like, nobody taught him to be bad. He was just bad. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't sit down and say, all right, now I'm your uncle, so I'm supposed to tell you how to be bad. And here, do these things, you know, and sock your sister in the face, and you'll be good, dude. He's just bad, all right? We were all that bad when we were 3.5, probably. At least I was. I'm guessing Brownie was. And probably most of the guys in here were like that. The girls, I don't know. Maybe you were sweet. I don't know. My niece is really sweet, so it's possible. My point is that through the one man, we're all made sinners. It sucks, dude. Screw that guy. I can't believe he did it to us. But hey, whatever. His sin imputed us. We got it. Something we got to deal with. We're not good, we're messed up. But we are also made righteous through the one man, which is what I want to focus on tonight. The officer of the law, who is God. God has His law. He is the officer over His law. And when He pulls you over and He's going to write you up for an infraction of His law, if you are associated with the right guy, Jesus, then He will let you off. If not, you're getting a ticket. And when we're talking about like big universal laws of space and all that stuff, this is like the penalty is not like a $300 ticket, which is actually a good-sized ticket. It's like a lot worse. It's like a little time in hell, or maybe a lot of time in hell, or maybe forever in hell. All right, so it's not like something that's just like here and gone. It's like a big fine. I like verse 19 of what I read to you. Let me read it again to you. Here's what it says. For just as through the disobedience of the one man, the many were made sinners, so also through the obedience of the one man, the many will be made righteous. Through the obedience of Jesus Christ, we're made righteous. Let me ask you a question. Was Jesus obedient?
To the point of death.
Why do you say yes? Like, did God make him do this? Did he, choose to do this?
Yes.
Here's the thing. At any moment, in all of this really bad stuff happening to Jesus, he could have called down 10,000 angels and fixed it all. Taken him to heaven, everything be okay. He's in the Garden of Gethsemane. The night he's going to be arrested. Literally hours before he's going to be arrested. Knowing full well what's going to happen the next day, because he's God, he knows that kind of stuff. He prays. He says, Father, if you would take this cup from me, if you would take this really bad thing that's going to happen to me away from me, give it to somebody else, whatever, just take it from me. Man, I would sure appreciate it. But, if not, then your will be done. Not my will, your will be done. Obedient. He could have called down 10,000 angels in that garden and said, all right, take me away. The soldiers came to arrest him later that night. He could have called down 10,000 angels when they tried to arrest him. They could have killed them all, taken that fool to heaven. The next day, we saw the video last week, right? He is being brutalized and tortured. He could have called 10,000 angels to come down and save him and to heal his wounds and to make everything okay. He's on the cross for hours, painfully, being speared aside, all kinds of horrible things. He could have called down 10,000 angels to relieve him of that pain at any time, at any moment. He could have done that, but he didn't. He was completely obedient. And good thing for us, because if he didn't, if he did call down 10,000 angels to save him, we'd still be screwed. The one man, Adam, still screwed us. Luckily, the one man, Jesus, was obedient and paid the price. Because of the obedience of Jesus, we have the opportunity to be made righteous. And we're not righteous. So tonight, like every Wednesday night, you have the opportunity to meet Jesus and to be made righteous. It's simple. It's simple prayer. It's so easy. The prayer is not the hard part. The hard part is letting go of what you have control over. And saying, all right, God, why don't you take this from me? I'm tired of screwing up my life. I'm tired of making the wrong decisions. I'm tired of relying on myself, and I have no strength, but yet I try to do everything. It's so easy. God, save me. God, I want to live for you. God, would you make me righteous? Because I'm not righteous. God, would you make me righteous? That's the opportunity that you have tonight. Think about that as you go to your small groups. Go ahead. Hey, Cats group's going to meet right here. Everybody else go to your